Hello and welcome to the What Northern Ireland Means to Me podcast, presented by me, Julia Paul. This series has been produced by Shared Future News to mark the centenary of Northern Ireland and is funded by the Heritage Fund on behalf of the Northern Ireland Office. Shared Future News provides information and personal stories on the topics of peace building, reconciliation and diversity to a Northern Ireland audience and beyond. In this episode, we meet Martin Magill, who's a priest at St John's Parish on the Falls Road in Belfast and co-founder of the Four Corners Festival, to hear what Northern Ireland means to him.
My family have been here for a number of generations. We're still in the family home out in Aldergrove, and we're very much what I call an integrated community there. By that I mean that we have a variety of people from various denominations living in the area. Has been like that. And as a farming community, very good cooperation amongst the local farmers. They're pragmatic at the end of the day. They've been working together for years. I might go so far as to say it's generations, because I think realistically, they know the value of cooperating with one another. I lived 4 years in Rome. I did so because that was part of my studies for priesthood. I really benefited from the experience of being abroad. And that formed me in various ways. It gave me a sense of a broader vision, seeing students from various parts of the world. One evening, we bumped into a group of American students, and one of the students then asked us where we were from. And when it came to my turn to answer the question and say Belfast, his immediate response was, "Oh yes, that's that place where Catholic and Protestant kill each other." And I thought, oh my goodness, that remark stopped me in my tracks. In some ways, it encouraged me to be involved in the work of peacemaking. I would work very closely with clergy, people from other churches. For example, I'm involved in a cross-community festival. It's an arts festival inspired by our Christian faith. It's called Four Corners Festival. It's got the strapline of bringing Belfast together. And the idea is to try and encourage the building of new relationships. I'm ordained now 33 years. And over that time, I've met such a variety of people in parish life. In some ways, I've seen people at their best. I've also seen people at their worst. I've seen people in very joyful occasions and some very sad. And I'm just really blessed by so many conversations over the years. I'm very blessed to be where I am at the moment in St John's here on the Falls Road. So thinking locally, but I love the phrase that we talk about this wounded and yet wonderful city of Belfast. One of my real desires to see would be the bringing down of walls. Not just the physical walls. I don't really like the phrase peace walls. I'm a believer in integrated housing. I want to see people live side by side. And I go back to my own growing up in a farming community where people live side by side. If there's the opportunity to look at 100 years, well, I'd like to think that our world leaders will be looking at some of the root causes of why people are having to leave their own lands in the first place. So for me, the whole question of peace and world peace, and part of that really does look at the whole question of the injustices and some of the systemic issues in our world, and especially the whole question of inequality, of poverty, and the amount of money that has been spent on arms. And imagining if some of that could be channeled to tackle some of the core issues facing our world, it would be remiss of me not to mention a concern for the planet. I talk about care for creation. Really pleased Pope Francis from the Catholic Church has really talked about in a very powerful letter written almost 6 years ago, his concern for creation, his concern for the planet. And so looking ahead into the future, it has to be one where we as stewards of creation, stewards on this earth, would find ways of being able to share its resources, care for its resources that will benefit all of us and lead to a society and a world where we can all flourish.
What Northern Ireland Means to Me is produced by Shared Future News. Our staff include Alan Leonard, Alan Maben and Julia Paul. Our theme song is Figure in the Fog by Jordan McMurray, with thanks to Music Paths. This and other episodes with transcripts are available at the Shared Future News website, sharedfuture.news. You can also follow us on Facebook at Shared Future News and Twitter at Shared Future. If you would like to suggest someone for a future episode of What Northern Ireland Means to Me, please email us at editor@sharedfuture.news. Thanks for listening.